Welcome, everybody. This is D. Darrell with the Manosphere. Happy to be here once again to converse with each and every one of you about things that are going on within this black sector, the Manosphere sector. This is a portion of the Manosphere sector itself, the Manosphere, in which we have a different set of talking points, a different mindset. This is a co-ed space. This is a space where a woman's values and thought process, her opinions actually matter. This is a sector of the Manosphere in which we value the relationship, the dynamic between black men and black women. We value family. We value true relationships. We want progressiveness within the black community, and we are willing to talk about solutions in order to get there. Now, I want to thank each and every one of you that have been supporting my channel, particularly my live streams. Well, not necessarily live streams, but necessarily pre-recorded content. I have yet to go live in a while. I may go live sometime this week. I kind of like, and I'm digging the pre-recorded stuff. Just trying to put out content to kind of spread and get, a bigger audience in which people are listening, saying what I'm saying. People are saying things. And what I can say is that what I'm noticing as I talk to people who are necessarily not in the Manosphere, but make comments about people and associated with, as I, over the last couple of weeks, have fraternized and went into other chats, I am definitely seeing that people are noticing my content. I want to give a shout out to Auntie. I want to give a shout out to Big JX. I want to give a shout out to Wacky Wild. I want to give a shout out to Reg the Bad Guy. I want to give a shout out to Root Demp. I want to give a shout out to all these people. And I know some of them may be beefing and having little issues with one another, and I get it. I want to give a shout out to V Doug Boogie. Yes. What's up, KL504? What's up, L Nixon? Appreciate you all for coming through. I want to also, for the ladies, I want to give a shout out to Rob B. I want to give a shout out to Brandy Davis. Ladies that definitely come out and support me. And there's others. Appreciate you all for being here. Appreciate you all for checking me out. And if I missed and didn't say your name, hey, I'm going to shut you out when we go live. I say peace. I call all the females queens because you are the true queens of the earth. And I do understand that in this space itself, there are people who look down upon us putting our black women on a pedestal that they deserve to be in. And I understand just because your experience didn't showcase or did not provide you with that luxury, my experience did. So if you don't want me to negate your perspective, then you cannot negate mine. Now, guys, I noticed, shout out to everybody on my last live stream in which I talked about Taz the Choke, who definitely made a fool of himself. Appreciate everybody that came in, because that was probably one of my larger live streams that's strictly dealing with the Manosphere content. Again, also, guys that want to support my other channel, D. Darrell Life Solutions, definitely check that out if you want to learn about mental health and psychology and counseling. If you want to learn about the church sector and the Umar Johnson sector, you can definitely check me out on The Sectors TV. Now, with that being said, let me get to the real topic at hand. And for all these Negroes in the Manosphere, those that I'm cool with, some that I'm not, when are you all going to understand that Kevin Samuel really don't give a damn about the Manosphere? He really doesn't. Kevin Samuel, as he should, only cares about Kevin Samuels and his opportunities. You are not going to hold on to his coattail and receive some level of benefit and fame. There's a handful of people, as I've stated in other videos, there's only a handful of people who he's going to support. He's going to go on their channel, per se, excuse me, and he is going to support them. And everybody that he supports, they do real good numbers. I'm talking about Jessica X. I'm talking about Obsidian. I'm talking about O'Shea if he goes live whenever he decides to, which is like once every blue moon. And that's it. Everybody else, whether you love or hate Kevin Samuels, I don't think the brother cares. But you got all of these other people, man, that's just Kevin Samuel this, Kevin Samuel gonna put the Manosphere on. I'm not even bringing the names because you all know who I'm talking about. You all know exactly who the hell I'm talking about. These guys are ridiculous. In for some reason, they think Kevin Samuel is going to bring the Manosphere mainstream. No, he's not. He is attempting to be mainstream. He's not even mainstream yet. What he is he's hot in social media. He is hot on World Star Hip Hop. He's hot on YouTube. He's hot on Instagram. He's in the right city at the right time where he can be in a future video. He's there at the right time where he can do exclusive interviews, and they think he's doing maybe a small role in a Tyler Perry show. He may even get some stuff on a reality show, and he's in the right city. He's in Atlanta. He's hot enough where people are going to give him opportunities. The Nicki Minaj interview. What he has shown is that there are A-listers who do watch him, particularly in the music industry, entertainment, sports, particularly in hip-hop, rap, R&B, some actors, particularly if you're in any type of entertainment field in Atlanta. They know of Kevin Samuel. Kevin Samuel is a topic of conversation. One of the things that I have listened to as those who support and hate Kevin Samuel, they continue to bring up the issue of the Pookie and the Ray Ray. People are criticizing Kevin Samuel's assessment of how Nicki Minaj looks. People in the Manosphere think that he is red pill. Kevin Samuel is not red pill. Get the fuck out of here. This guy is not hot red pill, and you know it. I was listening to the Tough Talk Sister George channel that was Ramil's, and the channel is hot. It's, she's doing her thing. She got everybody over there. You got the Kevin Samuel supporters. You got other people who are pushing back. Now they talking about how he copywritten and stolen things. Who doesn't copyright and steal things in this sector? If Alan Roger Curry has issues, matter of fact, just coming to think of it, there's a brother in another sector that I'm in. He even did a video on Kevin Samuel supposedly stealing or borrowing content from Alan Roger Curry as far as the possibility of sex. Okay. I responded to him. Shout out to Recognize Game. We ain't really all that cool, but shout out to him anyway. I mean, we're cordial. Let's look at it like this. Kevin Samuel, at the age that he's in the downside of his life, he's middle-aged, okay, has embarked upon an opportunity to make up for the things that he wasn't able to accomplish in other years. He has probably made more money in 20 and 21 that he probably made in the last 10 years of his life. Kudos to Kevin. You know, I want the brother to be successful. Now, there's things that I don't agree, and there's a few things that I do agree, but I do want him to be successful in whatever means that he obtained that success, because after all, the black community, regardless of what you like or don't like about somebody, we need more successful people. And Kevin represents the pinnacle of YouTube success. Love him or hate him. And that's facts. That is facts. And it's nothing that anybody can do to change that. Absolutely nothing. It's nothing you can do to change the fact that Kevin is so popular that even the white manosphere is jealous of Kevin. They don't even have a white Kevin Samuel. No, matter of fact, there's no one in the white manosphere that has half the success, a quarter of the success of Kevin Samuel. They don't. And fuck that bullshit ass 21 convention. That bullshit. And I know there are people who are somewhat impressed with them having their own conference of fucking incels. Have you ever looked at these Negroes? These Negroes look like some of the biggest, fattest, ugliest meth head / white trash I've ever seen in my life. They're worse than the incels in the black manosphere or any other red pill community. MGTOW. I'm sitting here like, and this is, it's one of the most frustrating things about this space is the people who have the least success talk the most. Now, I was on NT's platform all week supporting the brother. He been doing his thing, doing really, really good content, been on the panels and stuff like that. He's been going live, and they had people coming up talking about certain things, men and women. And we did talk about Kevin Samuel. You know, we did the thing with Jenny on the Block, and we did content about that bullshit and people that did videos about that. And there will be other videos that will come up. And it's funny how, Kevin Samuel's name will come up, because people understand that Kevin Samuel name draws views. I understand that, but I'm not going to be doing I'm not JR fucking Wisdom. I'm not JR Wisdom, who basically does Kevin Samuel reviews. Yes, he has 50, 60, 70, and he has actually grown quite well off another man's content, and he basically reviews Kevin's content in a way that is conducive to Kevin liking it and people who support Kevin. He's not doing anything that is the antithesis of Kevin's channel. But Kevin is not red pill. And I know some of you all don't want to believe that, but it's true. If he was so red pill, you would have accepted him, just as Ramil said back in 2017-18, when you Negroes were roasting him and kicking him off of panels, and because he wasn't red pill then and he's not red pill now. He never was and he never will be. And you don't have to be red pill to be in the manosphere, because When I first came into Manosphere, there were people who were not necessarily red pill. There were people who were just here just to be in a space for black men to discuss issues and talk about things that are relevant to black men. Period. Not that it was about dating. Dating to me is the largest share of the space itself. But for me, when I came in, I was entertained by O'Shea and Jap and a little bit of Obsidian. I watched a little bit of Angry Man. I even watched a little bit of bullshitting ass hardcore Tito and a few others. Some who are not even here anymore. Used to watch Jada Black a lot. You know, Kid Organic. You know, there's a few guys I listen to. But there were people with all types of motives and different content. And it gradually grew to this fanatical, highly misogynistic and fanatical, irritable ass area of just talking about black females, and at the same time attempting to intimidate women and people in the space to follow your ideology of what the relationship between black men and black women is supposed to be like. But Manosphere, people tell me why it's guys that never had long-term relationships who claim they know the most. You have no anecdotal experience to prove that what your ideology yields is successful. It doesn't exist. The average guy on here hadn't had sex in 2 years, hadn't been on dates. If they are married, they've been divorced. Most are divorced or they have baby mamas. Failed relationships. Or they've been with somebody long-term cohabitating and not married. And they claim they're not married for choice. Okay, we get it. We'll see how long that lasts. But it is a damn shame how the dating coaches, the pickup artists, now we have the image consultant, Kevin Samuel, who does not have a track record of even being an image consultant. What Kevin Samuels is, as it relates to YouTube, is a content creator who happens to dress well and present himself well. And people are drawn to it, both men and women. Kevin had a plan. He executed his plan and people followed. It just so happened he went viral. And as Obsidian said on Tough Talk TV, he went viral 12 times. Now these Negroes know all the analytics about how Kevin became popular. Like, who the fuck counting? Whether it was 5 or 12 times. I was like, man, this shit funny. But shout out to us. I like Obsidian, man. I need to review his book. But this is what's been going on. Like, this Kevin Samuels defense team. You got these guys that will support Kevin Samuels to the end. I have a friend in another sector. Shout out to Poetic Flocka. Man, when Kevin Samuel came out, this Negro looked up to Kevin Samuel. Kevin Samuel taught me this. He taught me that. He hot. He this. Man, and little Flocko like 23 years old. And Kevin Samuel has done a great deal for him in those 2 years. I'm laughing. I'm like, brother, stop. But I get it. I know several content creators who went on this show. I know Jessica X been there. The chick Wana or whatever. She was on there. I know another chick named she's from Arizona that's in my sector, kind of in my sector per se, in the Umar sector. She was on there once, and she, of the three, he was respectful to Jessica X, even though she didn't have the cam up. Everybody else did. Inquiring minds want to know about that. Wana chick, I don't remember her on there. She claimed she was on there, but he was respectful and cool. I don't know why so-called married man was on there, but she said whatever. And I know of another female that was on there. I don't know why I can't get her name out, but she actually had a very adversarial situation with Kevin, and she's married. She is married. Now, I want to know, what is it going to take for these Negroes to understand that Kevin will leave you behind? You're not going to get any opportunities through this man. I can remember when he was on a panel, Kevin said, if I have a chance to sell out to make money, I'm doing it. If you check O'Shea's archive between March and April, a month before he went live at night in May, he talked about what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it, his strategy. He talked a lot about the algorithm and people financially supporting the Black Manosphere or the sector, supporting him and others who put the time in and so forth. Everybody was talking about content creation and how to make money, how to improve your channels, all of this good stuff. I get it. Hey, man, I get it. And for me, man, I'm going to be honest with you. Most of my equipment and all that stuff, I got stuff that I just have not used to the best of my ability. I got 3 great cameras. I got a ZV-1 Panasonic. I'm sorry, a Sony. ZV-1 Sony that's great for vlogging. I got the Canon M50 that's just crazy camera. That's nice. And I also have a Lumix, which is good. Great. Lumix is very, very good. I use it a lot for outside. I use it on the go. I'm going to use all 3 cameras for 3 different things. The Lumix is going to be used for me when I'm outdoors. The Canon is going to be used when I'm doing stuff inside. And the ZV-1 is going to be done for streaming, because it's, to me, the better of it's actually one of the best streaming cameras. Got my little setup, because my house, I can go anywhere in my house and do a nice setup, because I have a fabulous house that's perfect for YouTube background. I just use my office, but I can use my wife's area, my area, my own office. I got areas around my house, outdoors, that would be wonderful for that. My most difficult thing in content creation is setting the time to do the content itself, prepping for the content, editing, and all the other good things. And that's the difficult thing. So I, on this channel, just, since I made the Manosphere, dedicated it towards this sector's level of content. Create another channel specifically, because I did a mixture of both, but I got tired of, people, didn't know what this meant, that. So I decided to separate it out. And the other channel is a smaller channel. It gets way more views. So it's all about your influence in the sector. I have a bigger influence in the Umar Johnson sector than the Manosphere. And I just got to do more Manosphere content. I haven't really done Manosphere content that much in the last 8 months. Matter of fact, I'm watching more Manosphere content than I did months ago. So, but These guys think that they are entitled to part of Kevin Samuel's success. Kevin Samuel is not promoting your channels. Kevin Samuel is not bringing Bernard Raleigh along the way. He's not bringing Obsidian, not bringing Jessica X, who is a mystery. You all basically present well on YouTube. Kevin Samuel himself has work to do in presenting better on live TV and other forms. He doesn't present the same. He doesn't hold the same interest. But we will see once he is seen in you know, little small when he gets small opportunities to be on screen. We'll see how the reaction is. He was on TMZ with Nikki. They just mentioned him as an image consultant and went on about Nikki because that's what people wanted to hear about. Kevin is not perceived the same on YouTube as other platforms. He's not seen the same. He's not. YouTube is not what made Kevin popular. It was World Star Hip Hop is what made him. Just so happens, you know, when you're streaming from World Star Hip Hop, you're probably streaming from, you know, of course, YouTube and Facebook and Instagram or what have you. It totals to the amount that he gets. I mean, his numbers are crazy. They're not as high as they once were, but when you're doing 14, 15, 16, maybe 17, 18, that's great. Now, at the height of his channel, he was doing 25, upwards of almost 30, I think. Now, he's not doing those numbers, but damn it, nobody's doing the numbers. Even if he lost a good 10,000 subscribers, I mean, not lost, but he's doing less viewers. He's still doing, man. He's killing it when it comes to his content is definitely making a lot of money for YouTube, advertisement, super chat. He's killing the super chat game. Now YouTube's taking 30%, but he's killing that game. He's killing the AdSense game. And God knows how many people are buying his bullshit consultant for $8.99. God knows who's buying that. And I'm pretty sure he got maybe a couple of hundred, I'm not going to say a couple of hundred, but he may have somewhere between 20 to 50 people buying that. Potential. But hey, whatever works for him, man, that works for him. But what's going to happen if Kevin gets a big break? You know, the big break that Tommy Sotomayor wished that he could have. Tommy Sotomayor fucked up his own shit. Tommy Sotomayor still should be at the top of the mountain. He messed it up. He messed it up doing the reckless shit that he was doing. And the fact that he could have had it in the political realm. How you gonna promote a candidate then talking about whether or not y'all fucking or not? She bought time on your channel and now you end up with shit. It's crazy, man. Just all kinds of scandals. But let's say Kevin gets a show on MTV, which I think he can get. I actually think Kevin Samuel will have an opportunity. He's not mainstream yet. He's not mainstream until mainstream decides that he's mainstream. I could see if Kevin was invited to Good Morning America for a weekly to to give weekly advice on relationships and image. I could see if he was on the Real Talk. I see if he was on the Talk and whatever else, those morning shows, or I could see if he was doing something of that area where they're presenting you to the world, to millions of people. You're not even mainstream if you was on Nick Cannon on the where they was that little show he had on MTV. That ain't even where a lot of, you know, social media guys are on that on that show. But nobody really cares outside of the people that watch the show. They're not mainstream. 50 Cent tried to make social media, particularly Instagram stars, they tried to do a sketch comedy on BET that failed. We don't understand is that there are other people in social media that attempted to make it to the next level and they flopped. Most of them actually flopped. If Kevin makes it to reality TV status, he still ain't mainstream. Look what happened to Sansa Ray. Sansa Ray was on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. She did one little scene. I don't know what she was helping them with, and that was it. That's not mainstream. I'm sorry, man. It's not. And I'm not saying that to say that Kevin ain't, like I said, man. If I was Kevin, I would not worry about being mainstream. I would worry about just building my brand and making money. And he is not going to become mainstream and give red pill talking points. He never really talked red pill talking points in the first place. So how in the fuck now he's gonna now utilize talking points that he never was married to in the first place? Yes, he's did things talking down about black women and talking to black women in certain ways, but he's not red pill. You don't have to be, just because you don't like certain things that black females talk about doesn't mean that you're red pill. It just means that you don't like issues that they talk about. He doesn't speak the jargon like that. I mean, people talking about the fact that he said 2 + 2 is 4. He stole RBR's saying. Now he's talking about Alan Roger Curry with his thing. I mean, let's look at it like this. Alan Roger Curry would waste his time trying to sue Kevin Samuel over him mentioning the possibility of sex. Excuse me. He will lose, and he would lose badly. It would be frivolous, because it's not like, I could see if Kevin used portions of the book and said it was his. He claimed he wrote a book called The Possibility of Sex, or he took phrases and things of that sort and he made it part of his brand. Then we're talking about product infringement. But that didn't happen. He just stated a saying, and you know what? And Kevin is going to watch the space and pick and choose and steal more shit. Matter of fact, most big content creators steal from small content creators. They all do it. Cynthia G stole shit from other content creators. Kevin Samuel gonna steal, and there are gonna be others that steal. Chrissy stole from Rashida. There are people stealing from Crystalline Carrison. People steal all the time. Whether you copywritten it or not. This space is made up of people who steal and watch other people's content, and then they restructure it to make it their own. This is just a fact. But what's going to happen, guys, when Kevin Samuel, let's say he gets a big contract to do a game show or something like that. Let's say that happens. And then the next thing you know, they tell him, part of the deal is you're going to have to close this this YouTube channel, which I doubt that he will agree to. In order for him to shut that YouTube channel down, they're going to have to pay him more than what that YouTube channel was making to make it worth his while. And I don't think that's going to happen. But what I do think is going to happen is that if he's able to obtain an opportunity with a cable station or what have you to do whatever type of content they want him to do on TV, there will be a huge reduction in the Kevin Samuels channel on YouTube. I promise you that. I guarantee you will not be seeing Kevin Samuel going live at 9, 3 days a week. What you will see is Kevin posting 10, 15-minute videos about what's going on and so forth. What you will see is Kevin still on Instagram or, Twitter and Facebook, just like most social media, as far as the people who are entertainers. They have their own channels. They have a presence on social media to keep themselves relevant and to have some type of interaction with their fans. That's going to continue. That will continue. The next stage for Kevin is to be on TV or radio, satellite radio, local radio station, whatever. If let's say he had a spot on a poppin' hip hop channel or something like that, where he's there daily on a radio show, he's gonna let some of this shit go. He is not gonna do YouTube 3 nights a week or 4 nights a week live streams for 2 or 3 hours. He's not. And he's not going to mention you Negroes. Game Changer, he not mentioning you. BGS, he is not mentioning you. He's not. He's not mentioning these guys. You will not be mentioned. Platinum, he's not mentioning you. Village Arsonist, he will not mention you. And I'm not just saying this to be saying, I'm saying it because this shit is the truth. He's not mentioning you. What he's gonna mention is that I grew up in Oklahoma and my mama this. That's what this nigga gonna mention. If he blow up to that point. But he is not carrying the Manosphere flag to the top. Now, what I do think, I predict that before this year is over with, or within the next 2 to 3 years, there will be another black social media phenomenon. I do think it's coming before this year or next year. There's going to be somebody else that's going to capture the imagination of this sector or black YouTube in general. That's somebody it's going to happen. It's going to be another person it may be a woman or a man that's going to rival him. I see that coming. I'm predicting there will be a person that will rival him or that will be kind of similar to him in the next 2 years. Maybe this year, but definitely next year. I mean, there are tons of people who become YouTube famous and stuff like that. And they're mostly in other sectors, you know. But in this sector, I think there will be someone that will, you know, come out of nowhere who will capture the minds and will be, you know, seen as this game changer to the space. We'll see. I'm hypothesizing, not saying that it will or will not happen. It may. But when will the Kevin Samuels defense team, and we're going to protect him at all costs, when will that dissipate? When will that decrease? When will it be no more people are talking about high value man? Oh man, 2020, the fall of 2020 was fucking high value man, every goddamn thing. Then he said this last fall, winter is coming. Now winter is getting ready to fucking end after this month. What's next? Now it's the modern woman and winter is coming. So what's going to be the next thing? It's going to be the next. Kevin Samuel controlled the subject matter, the flow of subject matter. He dictated what people talked about in Black YouTube and other sectors. As we see now, you got people now trying to get in the manosphere that are non-Black and other sectors who want to talk about it. You got people who are non-Black telling Black women what they should and should not be doing. And these are people who like watching Kevin Samuel. Because women, period. And you saw there were non-Black people who were calling the show because they were very curious of what Kevin thought of them. And this is a man who said this is a Black female show. I'm only interested in talking to Black females. Because he knows his audience. But you saw some white people come up there. You had a few Hispanics and people of other races coming up there, and people who claimed they were sugar babies at 38 years old. And you had all of that. Every aspect, every demographic of American woman wanted to know how the hell Kevin would rate me. And look, I'm not going to even talk about Kevin Samuel's sexuality, even though that has been something that has came up as a topic, and people have tried to, you know, get on him for that, and people tried to use that against him. Look, regardless of if Kevin is gay or not, I'm looking at the content and I'm looking at what he says, his talking points, and so on. It's irrelevant if he's gay or not. It really is, because people don't care. And the thing about it is, those that do make it an issue, they're going to label you as homophobic and quiet you down. YouTube would do that. YouTube would, unless Kevin does something to embarrass himself, or he gets caught doing some stuff where people got him on the camera. That's the only way he's going to lose, and people visually see him with another man in a certain way. Then he's going to lose male and female voters or subscribers. Again, I don't wish anything bad. I want the brother to be successful and make his money. But at the same time, I'm going to be critical and say the truth as I see it. It doesn't mean that it is agreeable to those that support him. I watch small parts of his show now. I used to watch at one time. I would watch maybe a good, back in 2020, I would watch a show from start to finish. Then I stopped. Then now I just watch maybe 10, 15 minutes or so, see who he's talking to. 10, 15 minutes at the most, and I may catch stuff that he chop up on a replay of different. Then I've watched more of his content on other content creators who actually create content from his videos, his live streams. They chop it up 10, 15 minutes, you know. Shout out to the Pink Pill book. She does a great job. Shout out to JR Wisdom. He does the best job. He has, in my position, from my perspective, capitalized off of Kevin Samuel's success even more than Obsidian has. And Obsidian had basically became a bestseller on Amazon. So Obsidian is the only one that really, and I get it. If somebody helped me sell 100,000 plus books or whatever, worth of books and steady, hey, shit. I'm indebted to him too. I'm going to basically support him no matter what, patronize whatever he got going on. You know, I would do the same. I would campaign for his ass every day too. No offense. You having a YouTube channel at that level, you are in the business of making money. You're not in the business of being real. You're not in the business of being genuine. You're not in the business of following red pill rhetoric. You're not in the business of being true to the craft, to the space. Fuck the space. Fuck the manosphere at that point. You don't know these niggas. You never met many of these niggas. You may talk to a few offline, but nobody owes you anything and you don't owe anybody anything. Because these Negroes, if they were in the position of Kevin Samuel, they would be doing the same thing, if not worse. And that's just the facts. They would be doing the same thing. Some of these niggas wouldn't even be on other people's platforms in the getting on a panel. He does that. At least he does that. Some of you wouldn't even do that. And that's just the facts. So guys, I'm about to go ahead and get out of here. I had a nice little chat with you all on this. Shout out to everybody in the space. Shout out to everybody in the Manosphere that support me. I definitely will be rocking with people throughout the week, you know, supporting them financially, super chatting, cash app, and all that good stuff. Again, this is D Durrell with the Manosphere. Y'all have a great day. Peace.